We're here at the Fat Radish in the Lower East Side of Manhattan for some Champagne 101 with Heline, the U.S. Director of Krug. So champagne is very often used for celebration, and there's always a great kind of ceremony and a great ritual to the actual opening and pouring.
When you put a bottle of champagne, of course you want security first. So the first part will be to unfold the bottle. And that is not dangerous at all, because what you want to avoid is the cork popping by itself. But until you touch what we call the cage, the cork will not leave by itself. So you unfold the top, that's the first part. Then this is where you need to be protected. So you're going to put your thumb on the top of the bottle while you are, can I say, unscrewing the part here? So once you have released the cage, here the pop can cork by itself. But because your thumb is on it, this doesn't happen very fast. It's really if you leave the bottle by itself, or if you don't pay attention, that the cork will pop. What we like to do is then, when you take the bottle like this, you put your other hand on it, you grab it, and now you're going to take the base of the bottle. And what people normally don't know is that you don't turn in the cork, but you're turning the bottle.
So you turn the base.
Exactly. You turn the base, you have a better grip, and you can still hold the cork. And then, naturally, it opens. Then you want to leave your bottle at 45 degrees, more or less. So if you do that, the foam will never come out. I mean, I personally always do with the nose.
Yes.
I know that sometimes people feel offended because they say it's not the proper way of opening a bottle of champagne. I think it's fun. I think the pop everywhere in the world means champagne, means party, means having a good time.
Once we've opened it properly, is there a special technique into pouring, or is there a certain type of glass I should use?
There is two ways of holding the bottles. The first one will be like this, which is the one personally I prefer. If I'm thinking for a woman, if the hands are too small to take the bottle like this, by putting your thumb inside the bottle, it gets a very natural balance that anyone can do. Then when it comes to the glass, you see, it's funny because I've been working for Krug for almost 10 years and we keep learning. I learned a few months ago from the cellar master that we have at Krug that actually it's the best way of pouring any champagne. It's really by putting the glass on the side like this, because you don't want to create too much foam.
So I usually see champagne in flutes, kind of oval shaped. These are not flutes, obviously.
No, those are not flutes. Flutes have been used for years, for decades, even century, I could say. But it's definitely not the best glass to drink champagne. You should definitely have a glass that is very close to the white wine glasses. Why? First of all, I mean, as we said earlier, that champagne has been in that bottle for 6 to 7 years. Some of the wines inside are more than 20 years old. So you want the contact with the oxygen. If you have a very thin flute, you will have few contacts with the oxygen, so the wine will not open, the champagne will not open, exactly. On top of that, then, you want to have what we call concentration. So you want your glass to go on the side, so when you put your nose on it, you have those concentration of aromas. So white wine glasses, Riesling glasses, and not too cold, because you want those aromas to open.
So what's like the perfect temperature to be serving champagne? I know it's all by taste, but...
Yeah, no, but I mean, at Krug we like it to drink it around 50, 52 Fahrenheit. So you can put it from the fridge if your fridge at 40, 44, but just don't put it back on ice.
I see.
Or if you put it from the fridge and it's already at around 40 or 44 or 45, don't put it in ice, maybe put it on ice.
I see.
So once you're poured, there's a tradition of cheering, definitely. The first thing I like to look at any wines, because you're going to find a lot of similarities between champagnes and wines. So the first thing that I would advise your friends to look at, it's the color. Because the color gives you many indications. I will like amber color, because I know that I'm going to find the toastiness that I like in some of the champagnes. The second operation is definitely, like any wine, to take a first nose. And it's important to take your first nose without moving too much the champagne, because you're going to find those very light, usually floral aromas that are very delicate. Which here, I'm on citrus, I'm on vanilla, it's very floral, it's very feminine. Then if you want to, either on the table like this or in your hand, you do what we call you opening the wines or the champagnes.
So shake it up a little bit.
Yeah, I will not use the word shaking, but you're definitely opening it. So you put liquid on the sides of the glass, and now you're going to put your nose into it for the second nose. You're going to find different aromas. That gives you many indications, because more than 70% of what you will taste in your mouth comes from your olfactive sense.
What should I be noticing? Like, what are the good telltale signs that this is going to be a very special champagne?
So you should be noticing what you like first.
Mm-hmm.
Good champagnes usually have very thin bubbles, not only because the way they were made, but also because the time of aging. That bottles of Grand Cuvee stayed at least 6 to 7 years in our cellar, which by law is only 18 months. So once you have looked at your champagne, you have observed the different colors you can find, look at how thin the bubbles are, definitely what you want to do is take a first sip.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's terrific.